Morning, guys. I just woke up. Kids are still asleep. Wife's asleep. I've got probably not long before they can come down and attack me, climb all over me. So Tammy sent me this. It's Donna Presley slams Priscilla Presley for spreading lies. I wanna play it. And my week's gonna change because the kids are off school for a week. So the times I make videos, do lives will change because it obviously fits into what they're doing because they're home much more. Yeah, obviously we go off and do things. So we're going to have a fun week ahead with the kids. So I want to play this quickly, see if I can play the first 10 minutes of it at least. Uh, this Donna Presley slams Priscilla video. There's a few like that now, but this one stands out to me. I like the way it's put together. I'm not a massive fan of AI, but I think it's part of the world we live in. We need to get used to it. This AI clearly defends Donna Presley and what she went through and her family went through at the hands of Priscilla. Yeah. So I do find with AI videos, they repeat themselves, they keep repeating themselves. But I like what this one says. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to top up my tea. So first cup of tea of the day is always nice. Oh, we need that, don't we, guys, in the morning when we wake up. I'm going to top up my tea. I'm going to press play on this. It gets straight into the meat and bones of what we're trying to say here at Defending Elvis. What we're trying to show the world, concerning Priscilla. What happened? Look what happened. At the hands of Priscilla, when she got almighty power, when Vernon made Priscilla co-trustee, placed her in his will, in Vernon's will. Elvis definitely did not want Priscilla in that will. I wonder what Elvis would have thought of the fact that Vernon made that decision. I do feel Vernon, how can I say it, was in an impossible situation because he knew he was going to pass. Yeah. He had to look out for the interests of Lisa Marie. He knew Elvis wanted Lisa Marie to be looked after, wanted everything to go to Lisa Marie. But he also knew Elvis wouldn't have wanted Priscilla on the will. So I've had a very long comment concerning this. I may read it. Obviously, I will always defend Vernon. I would always defend Vernon massively. But there was massive consequences to Vernon making that decision. A decision that I felt he didn't have any choice. I felt that he literally was between a rock and a hard place. It was like, who's going to look out for Lisa? Yeah. And you're always going to go back to the mum, aren't you? You're always going to go, oh, Lisa's mum, Priscilla. You're always going to think that. But in some ways, I think it was a massive mistake. And, the haters will jump out and say, well, no, she saved Gracelands. She didn't save Gracelands. There's so much more to it. She stopped Graceland from being sold. No, she didn't. There's so much more to it. Yeah. So you throw that out the window. But I do understand that Vernon would have felt that Priscilla would look after her daughter Lisa's interests. He was wrong. Yeah, in my opinion. Maybe not wrong at first, but eventually very wrong. Get it? So let's press play. Now, this is more about Donna Presley and the Presleys and how they were affected by Priscilla. So let's listen to it, guys.
She said when they asked her, how did she feel when we divorced? And my daughter said, I didn't know my parents.
When Donna Presley says Priscilla has been spreading lies for 50 years, she's not being dramatic. She's not exaggerating. She's stating a fact that the entire world has somehow agreed to ignore because the woman telling the lies had the loudest microphone and the best PR team money could buy. Let's talk about the 3 biggest lies Priscilla Presley has sold to the world. 3 lies that have shaped how we see Elvis, how we understand his legacy, and how we've completely missed what actually happened to his family after he died. Line number 1, that Priscilla was Elvis's devoted partner right up until the end. That she remained emotionally connected to him, that she cared deeply about his well-being, that their divorce was just a legal formality, but their bond stayed strong. Here's the truth Donna wants you to know. Priscilla divorced Elvis in 1973. She moved on. She had other relationships. She built a separate life. She wasn't there during Elvis's decline. She wasn't present during his struggles. She wasn't the one watching him fall apart. That was the family. That was the cousins, the friends, the people who actually stayed. But when Elvis died in 1977, suddenly Priscilla reappeared as the grieving widow, positioning herself as the person who understood him best, who loved him most, who deserved to speak for him forever. That's a lie, and it's a lie that made her millions. Lie number 2, that Priscilla saved Graceland from financial ruin. This is the big one. This is the lie that turned her into a hero. The story we've all been told is that the estate was collapsing, that bankruptcy was imminent, that without Priscilla's brilliant decision to open Graceland to tourists, everything would have been lost. Donna says that's fiction. She says the financial crisis was exaggerated, dramatized, blown completely out of proportion to justify what Priscilla was really doing, which was consolidating power. Because here's how you become untouchable. You create a crisis, you position yourself as the only solution, and then anyone who questions you looks like they're threatening the very thing you saved. It's brilliant, it's manipulative, and it
So, I mean, he's talking very fast, yeah? But he's on point. He's on point. Let's keep going.
worked perfectly. Priscilla didn't save Graceland. She took it over during a moment when the family was too grief-stricken and too scared to fight back, and then she spent decades rewriting that takeover as a rescue mission. Line number 3, that everything she did was to protect Lisa Marie's inheritance. That every decision, every business move, every dollar that flowed through Elvis Presley Enterprises was carefully managed to benefit Elvis's daughter. Ask yourself this: if Priscilla was protecting Lisa Marie's inheritance, why did Lisa Marie die in financial chaos? Why was she struggling with debt while her mother controlled an empire worth hundreds of millions?
So I always, when I do my shows, I always say we must read between the lines, even things that are in books. Ignore what's in books. Think outside the box. A lot of things that are in books are manipulation. Yeah. So it's never straightforward. There's a standard story, a standard narrative concerning all these topics that get repeated again and again and again. I always say, throw them out the window. Everything you've ever believed about anything Elvis concerning the history, concerning Elvis, Lisa, Priscilla, the Presley, all of it, throw it out the window and start again, because everything has been twisted. Everything has been warped away from the truth. So let's keep listening here, guys.
Did Lisa Marie, Elvis's only child, the sole heir to everything he built, why did she feel like an outsider in her own father's legacy? And here's the most damning evidence.
So I want to quickly read just a bit of this before the kids come down. It says, Elvis had everything set up in his will for Lisa to be taken care of. He had lawyers and the banks involved to take care of business of Graceland's in Lisa's best interest. Elvis had it all set up that way. He wanted it done. He had it set up the way that he wanted it done.
Of all.
So the point I'm trying to say is that he had a plan. Elvis had a plan of for Graceland's, for his daughter Lisa Marie, that didn't involve Priscilla, that could have worked. So when Vernon made that decision, everything changed.
Lisa Marie cut
Right,
Priscilla
mate?
completely out of her trust before she died. That wasn't a rash decision. That wasn't anger. That was Lisa Marie, after a lifetime of watching her mother operate, saying very clearly, I don't trust you. I don't want you controlling anything after I'm gone. I want my children, specifically Riley, to have what's mine without you anywhere near it. That's not
Sorry guys, kids woke up. 1 second.
the action of a daughter who felt protected. That's the action of a daughter who felt exploited. These aren't small lies. These aren't innocent misunderstandings. These are strategic fabrications that Priscilla used to build an empire for herself while erasing the people who should have mattered most. And Donna watched it happen. She watched Priscilla take control of every narrative, every interview, every documentary, every book. She watched her become the executive producer on projects about Elvis so she could control exactly what got said and what got buried. She watched family members try to tell their stories and get shut down, threatened, or ignored because they didn't fit Priscilla's carefully crafted mythology. This is what Donna means when she says Priscilla has been spreading lies, because a lie isn't just saying something false. A lie is controlling reality so completely that the truth can't even get a hearing. For 50 years, Priscilla owned the truth about Elvis. She decided what people knew, what they believed, what they celebrated. She turned herself into the sole authority, the only credible voice, the singular keeper of his memory. But here's what she didn't count on. She didn't count on Donna speaking up. She didn't count on the family finally saying enough. She didn't count on the possibility that people might actually want to hear what really happened instead of the sanitized, profitable version she's been selling.
Okay, so my son woke up, but he's doing something anyway. But I'll probably be ending this in a minute anyway. But you get the idea of what we want to know. Donna Presley wants us to know what really happened.
So let me show you what Priscilla doesn't want you to know. Let me show you how she rewrote history, erased a family, and built a fortune on lies that are finally about to crumble.
Look.
Here's how you steal someone's legacy. You don't just take control of their property or their money. You take control of their story. You become the only voice people hear when they think about that person. And that's exactly what Priscilla did to Elvis. Donna watched it happen in real time. She watched Priscilla systematically position herself as the sole authority on who Elvis was, what he believed, how he lived, what he would have wanted. And she did it so effectively that for 50 years, nobody questioned it. Nobody asked the obvious question: why is the ex-wife who divorced him 4 years before he died the person controlling his entire narrative? Think about what that means. Priscilla wasn't there during Elvis's final years. She had moved on with her life. She had other relationships. She was...
So, it's speaking very fast, yeah? But some people act as if, especially Priscilla fans, as if Priscilla was there every day after they divorced. Remember, they divorced 4 years before he died. Then during the 4 years, when she had gone to live with Mike Stone, she wasn't there. She wasn't at Graceland. Priscilla will talk about Graceland as if she was at Graceland from the day they divorced to the day he died. She wasn't. She was hardly ever there. So this is all part of the trickery. Priscilla wants us to think she was always there, constantly. It's not true that they were always on the phone. This is not true. Let's keep going, guys.
Building her own career, pursuing her own interests. The people who were actually present during Elvis's decline, during his struggles, during the hardest parts of his life were his family, his cousins, his childhood friends, the people who knew him before fame, who stayed with him through fame, who were there when fame was destroying him. Those are the people who actually knew Elvis, not the sanitized public Elvis, not the icon, the real man, the complicated, generous, struggling, brilliant, flawed human being.
So, just quickly want to read this post. This post is Patty Podjeski. I know what she's trying to tell me. She's basically trying to say, look, this where Vernon altered the will when he passed in 79, that the ramifications, the consequences of what he did by adding her as co-trustee. In here it says that she persuaded him. It's very possible. Yeah, I know some people that don't think that. I do think it's possible she swayed him. It's just Louis' opinion. There was a big debt on Graceland's. There was Lisa Marie. Priscilla obviously is the mum. So I think there's more to it. More went on in those last 3-4 months before Vernon passed, where eventually Vernon felt he had to make Priscilla co-trustee. So, what Patty is saying is that Elvis had it all set up, had everything set up, ready to go, so that they didn't need Priscilla to be the helm of it all. And I understand that. So I'm going to come back with a part 2, guys, and I want to read Patty's comment. Okay, I want to sort out Tino, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. See you, guys.